أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل ألم يجعل كيدهم في تضليل وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل فجعلهم كعصف معقول. Another short surah, and pointing to a specific event that happened in or around Makkah. So the Surah Quraysh, of course, is about the tribe which lived in Makkah, and this surah is also about an event that happened around Makkah. Um, and I will actually delve quickly into some part of the seer that it is reported that this event happened. Uh, it's called the year of Abraha or year of Fiil, which is the same year that Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was born, actually. So we look at ayah number 1, the first ayah. Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil. Okay. Alam is we know is harfu istifham. It's also called hamzatul istifham. Same thing. Okay, it's a harf and it is for istifham. Lam we know is actually another harf. It's a harfu nafi. Wa jazmin wa qalbin. Okay. Tara is fi'l mudare majzoom. Fa'il mustatir taqdiruhu anta. Okay. And this anta, of course, at the time of the revelation goes to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And now all of us are everybody who's listening to it, reciting it, is addressed there. Kaifa is a ismu istifham. Okay, there's a difference between harf istifham and ismu istifham. This is a ismu istifham. It is a noun, and over here it is mabni. Okay, you can say it's mabni ala fatha. في محل نصب حال. Okay. في محل حال. I'll explain exactly what's going on there. But let's finish the i'rab for the remaining part of the ayah, inshallah. فعل is فعل ماضي مبني على فتحة. رب is فاعل وهو مضاف, and ka is مضاف إليه. بأصحابي be and أصحابي حرف جر اسم مجرور, and then الفيل is مضاف إليه. So in order to understand why kaifa is hal, let's take a very simple example. Okay. If I say kaifa, sorry, kaifa jita. Okay. What does that mean? How did you come? Okay. And if I answer by saying jitu mashyan. Okay. How will I analyze my answer? So first of all, let me write the answer. I came walking. So jitu is fail or fa'il. What is mashyan? Is a hal. this is the condition in which that act of coming was done. Okay. Now, if you look at the question, what was the question? Kaifa ji'ta. So in kaifa ji'ta, where is the fail? The fail is ji'ta. So ji. And what is ta? Damir mutasil fi mahali raf'in fa'il. What is kaifa? Kaifa here is also hal. So one way to understand this, that's not how the sentence is constructed, but you can say ji'ta kaifa. You came how? And then the answer is ji'tu mashiyan. I came walking. So mashiyan is the answer to the question kaifa. And because mashiyan is hal, in the question form, kaifa is hal. In the question form, kaifa is hal. Okay? And this actually is also mentioned when we were studying in hal in, I think, lesson number 31 in book 3, that hal is typically the answer to the question how or kaifa. How is something being done or was done or will be done? The answer will be, will actually be the hal. And but if you're analyzing the question itself, the kaifa will be the hal. Okay? So here, kaifa is the hal, and the sahibul hal in this case will basically be the ashabil fil, the ones on whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dealt with, whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dealt with. Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil. So let's look at the meanings, inshallah. Alam tara. So alam, did not, tara. Okay. So we have seen tara quite a few times. Let's just quickly look at it again, inshallah. Ra'a, okay, ra, hamza, ya. Yara is mudare. Ra'yan, ru'yatan is a masdar. But the important thing is that there are two types of ra'a, ra'al basariya and ra'al qalabiya. Okay. And within them, so the ra'al basariya is to actually see the actual physical seeing, to see something. Okay. And ra'al qalabiya is to think, to deem, to consider, to perceive. Actually, you can also write the meaning to see. Okay. I mean, quite often we actually use this in our regular speech as well. When we say, you see, like you see how this idea is taking its roots. So I mean, I'm not seeing the idea, but I'm just talking about. I'm just bringing up to somebody saying, "Do you not think, or do you think, or do you see?" Okay, so in that case, it is a doubly transitive verb. Okay, because as you know, zanna yazunnu, to think something as something, or someone as someone, or someone as something, requires two maf'ulun bihi. So ra'al qalabiyya, to see something as something, requires two maf'ulun bihi. Okay, so that in this particular ayah, that is what is essentially what is meant by that, the use of tara, because as we know, that the incident of the Ashab al-Fiil happened in during the year that Prophet ﷺ was born. So it wouldn't have been possible for him to actually physically see it. Okay, just a simple explanation. And even for us, when we are reading it, it's not possible for us to see that. It's just for us to, it is to remind ourselves, to think, to consider that something like this happened, and to learn lessons from it. Okay, so it is actually a ra'al qalabiyya that is being mentioned here. So you actually can write, did you, so did not you see, but don't think of see as a physical seeing. Kaifa, how, fa'ala. Okay, so fa'ala, we use this as kind of a version for every other fail, but here we are going to use it as actually the verb itself. Fa'ala yaf'alu, ba fataha, fa'alan or fi'lan, means to do, to act. Okay. And then I brought in two other interesting verbs from this family. Tafa'ala, yatafa'alu, tafa'ulan, form 6. Okay. And as you know, the form 6 has this group and reciprocal actions. Okay. So tafa'ala is to interact, where two or more people are kind of working together, or acting together, or basically doing something back and forth. Okay. Also has a meaning of to influence each other. And then infa'ala yanfa'ilu infi'alan. And as you know, this is form 7, and we know that form 7 is always passive meaning. So meaning passive itself is not passive, but it has a passive meaning. And so it is, and they are intransitive verbs, meaning they don't have any mafulun bihi. So so infa'ala has a meaning of to be done. Okay, something to be done. And then fa'il is the ism fa'il, and then fa'al, okay, which is a word used in the Quran as well. It is ismul fa'il ala sigha mubalagha. Okay, one who is most able to do. Okay, and it is actually used for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then ismul maf'ul is maf'ul, that which is done or carried out. So in this case, fa'ala means how he did or how he dealt. Okay, how did or dealt your Lord Rabbuka bi ashabil feel. Okay, ashab is a plural of sahib, and the root is sahiba yashabu, bab sami'a, suhbatan, sahabatan, sihabatan, to be or become a companion, a fellow, a friend. Sahib, uh, the two plural ashab and sahaba, means companion, associate. Ashab also has a meaning of people or followers, or inhabitants. Okay, and I've listed some examples here: Ashabul Kahf, Ashabul Ukhdud, people of ditch; Ashabul Fiil, which is in this ayah, people of the elephant; Ashabul Jannah, may Allah make us among them, people or inhabitants of the paradise. So your Lord did with the people of the elephant. The people of the elephant. Okay. Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil. Did you not see how your Lord dealt with the people of the elephant? Okay. Kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil. So this jumla, okay, this jumla uh, is actually, because we forgot to mention the two maf'ulun bihi for ra'a yara. Masadda maf'ulay tara. Okay, so this jumla is representing, is substituting the two maf'ulun bihi for tara, because you need two maf'ulun bihi. Okay, I did capture it in my note, but I totally forgot to actually mention it. So that whole jumla, kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil, is standing in place of those two maf'ulun bihi that you need for tara. Okay, because did you not see? Did you not see what? And so this is, that whole jumla is there to represent those two maf'ulun bihi for tara, because tara coming in as ra'a al-qalabiyya requires two maf'ulun bihi. So this jumla is fulfilling that condition. Second ayah, alam yaj'al kaydahum fi tadlil. Similar to the first ayah, it also starts with harf istifham. Lam is harfu nafi wa jazmin wa qalbin. Yaj'al fi'l mudari majzoom, fa'il mustatir taqdiruhu huwa, goes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Kaida, hum, kaida is maf'ulun bihi mansubun wa huwa mudaf, and hum is mudaf ilayhi. And then fi is harfu jar, and tadlil is ism majroor. Okay. Alam yaj'al kaidahum fi tadlil. So we look at the alam did not yaj'al, okay, very commonly used verb in the Quran. Ja'ala yaj'alu. This is interesting. This verb can actually come both as transitive and also doubly transitive. Okay. And one other case which I will come as well, talk as well. So when it is transitive, meaning is to create or to make something. Also means to put or place something. Okay. When it's doubly transitive, it means to make or cause something to be or become something. Okay, so that's why it requires two maf'ulun bihi. The first one on which the action is being taken, and then it is being changed to something to become something else. Also, it means to appoint someone as something or someone. Okay, also has a meaning of to think, to consider, very similar to zanna yazunnu. And then on top of that, it can also act as a verb of beginning. Okay, min af'al shuru, min af'al shuru, the verb which represent the beginning of something. And if that is the case, it will take an ism. Okay, we will not say that it has a maf'ulun bihi, but or fa'il. It will take as an ism, and its khabar is going to be a verbal sentence which will contain a fi'l mudari. It's a different topic, but just wanted to bring up as a reminder, and it will basically mean to begin. Okay, to begin. I think we saw that in Medina Book 3 towards the end of it. We saw some af'al which were on this, which had the same this meaning basically. So ja'ala yaj'alu, very commonly used verb. In this particular case, actually, it um, uh, it basically is has a meaning of to make or cause something to become something. Okay, so let's look at it, inshallah. Did he not? Sorry, did not he make? Okay, kaidahum. Okay, kaida, kada yakidu. Very important. It's a kaf, ya, and dal. Okay, not kaf, wow, dal. Okay, kada yakadu. That's a different verb. This is kada yakidu. Kaidan means to plot, to outwit, or also has the meaning of to harm someone. Kaid means to basically means a ploy or a harmful plot. Okay. Um, their their plot in tadlil. Okay, or I shouldn't say in actually. In this case, the better translation is to. Let's look at the meaning of tadlil. So dhalla yadillu, mudaf verb. Okay, to be lost, to go astray, lose one's way. Form two, dhallala yudallilu tadlilan. Okay, means to mislead, to let go astray, to cause confusion, also to cause something to come to nothing. Okay, to cause something to come to nothing, and that's essentially the meaning in this case. And then form 4 is also used in Quran extensively. Adalla yudillu idlalan. Similar meaning to form 2, to mislead, to let go astray. And then dallun is ismul fa'il, the one who is lost. Okay. To go astray. Okay. Did he not make their plot to go astray, to get basically to go astray, or to become nothing? Okay. To go to a waste. Did he not make their plot to go to a waste?
Brother, you said that Jumla, that kafa is Saddam Saddam Mafawili, but we learn this Saddam Sada is coming from Masdar Mobile, either with harfu an or with anna plus khabru anna and ismu anna. That is coming sadda musadda. But here I don't understand how this sadda musadda comes.
Yeah. So your point about we definitely have seen previously the use of masdar muawwal, whether it is an followed by fi'l mudari mansoob or whether it is a anna wa ismuha wa khabaruha together masdar muawwal come as sadda musadda. But just because those come as a substitute or replacement for the two maf'ulun bihi doesn't mean that some other sentence cannot come as a substitution for maf'ulun bihi. Okay, so there is a we are saying yes, those can come as a sadda musadda, but other sentence can also come as sadda musadda. So just by saying that those come as sadda musadda, we are not excluding all the other ones from coming as sadda musadda. I don't think we ever made that statement, and if we did, we were wrong.
Okay, jazakallah khair.
Yeah. Now we are going to go to ayah number 3. Ayah number 3. وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل. Wow here is حرف عطف. حرف عطف. أرسل is فعل ماضي مبني على فتحة. فاعل مستتر تقديره هو, and this huwa goes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this whole jumla فعلية in this case is معطوف على جملة السابقة, which is basically يجعل. Okay. عليهم is jar wa majroor, harf jar and ism majroor. طيرا is مفعول به for the فعل أرسل, and أبابيل is نعت الأول للطير. Okay. Normally we look at multiple things when we establish that something is a naat. We say it must match in 4 different categories, and it is matching. The only thing is Ababil being a Jamal Muntaha on the version of Mafa'il, it is a Mamnu min as-sarf, so it does not take tanween. That's why you don't see a tanween, but it still is indefinite because you can clearly see that it does not have al, the different article attached to it. So Tayran is indefinite and Ababil is also indefinite, and they're both marfu. So basically, it makes Ababil the naat for Tayr. Let's look at the meanings. I'll keep this window on this side, inshallah. So Arsala, the Sulasi Mujarrad for that is Rasala, sorry, Rasila Yarsalu. Rasila Yarsalu, Rasalan and Rasalatan. This is a Bab Sami'a. It is said, so this root verb is not a very commonly used verb, and means for the camels to become easy in their pace, okay, or overall to just basically travel at an easy pace. Form 3, Rasala, Yurasilu, Murasalatan, Risalatan, some of the words we are quite used to correspond with each other. As you know, that forms 3 is one of the forms which basically has this kind of reciprocal actions. So correspondence is being a reciprocal action. It fits quite well with the meaning pattern for form 3, or to exchange letters. Form 4 is Arsala Yursilu, Irsalan, to send, to dispatch. Okay. To send, to dispatch. It's a very common verb in the Quran as well. Rasul, with the plural being Rusul, means messenger. And then Risalatun means a message or revelation or prophethood. Okay. Again, just always try to bring some words from that root that we can learn as part of learning this particular word that we are dealing with in the ayah. So, arsala alayhim tayran ababil, and he sent alayhim upon them. Who are them here? Ashabil Fiil, that army of Abraha that was attacking the Makkah. And he sent upon them Tayran Ababil. Okay. Tayr, Tora, which is the ajwaf verb, Ta, ajwaf yai, ya ra, Tora yatiru, tayaranan, to fly, also means to hasten, to hurry up. Okay. And then Tayrun is a generic noun, means birds. Okay, means birds. So he sent down upon them birds. Okay. Ababil. Okay. Let's look at Ababil. Abila Ya'balu. That's Bab Samea. Also, there is a slightly different variation of the spelling. Abala Ya'bulu, Bab Nasara. Abalan, Abalatan. To become skilled in the management of camels or one's wealth. Okay. Again, not very commonly used verb that we see. Of course, this verb itself never comes in the Quran. So, Abila Ya'balu, Abala Ya'bulu. To become skilled in the management of camels or one's wealth. Also, has a meaning of when the camels become many. Okay, when the number of camels increase in a flock, then this verb is used for that. Ibilun is a word which is used in the Quran. It's a collective noun for both male and female, and it doesn't have any singular, okay, and basically means camels. Ababil is a plural whose actually it's a plural. And there are two different options which are given. One is that its singulars are either ubul, ibalatun, also ibilun, or also given an option that it may be a plural which has no singular. Okay. And the meaning being basically a distinct or separate flocks, okay, or droves. Okay? And that essentially is the meaning which is intended here. Tayran ababil, okay, droves. And he sent upon them droves of birds. You know, in the Arabic, the construction is not man'ut. Okay, but in English, when you translate it, kind of becomes mudaf ilayhi. But really, that's just the difference in the two languages. But he sent upon them droves of birds, or birds in droves, basically birds which were in droves, lined up one drove after another. Moving on to the next ayah, ayah number 4. Tarmihim bi hijaratim min sijil. Tarmihim, two words here. Tarmi and then him. Tarmi is fi'al mudare, marfu, fa'il mustatir, taqdiruhu hiya. Okay, which actually here goes to tayran, the birds, kullu jama muannas. Him is maf'ulun bihi. Bihijaratin, again two words, bi and hijaratin, jar wa majroor. Min is again harfu jar, and sijil is majroor. And these two, min sijil, Notice they are coming after hijaratin, which is indefinite, and we have talked about it before. When you have jar majur coming after an indefinite noun, then look for an option of that being the naat for it, and in this case, that is actually the case. So this is naat li hijaratin. Okay, and then this whole jumla. Remember in the previous ayah we said tayran has naat number one is ababil. Okay, that is the one qualifying noun that describes those birds that they were in droves. Second one is tarmihim bi hijaratin min sijil. So that whole jumla, okay, this jumla fi'liya fi mahalli nasbin naat thanin li tayr. Okay, for tayr. So there are two things which we are told about those birds. One is that they were coming in the drove. Second, that they were doing this action of tarmihim bihijaratin min sijil. So we'll look at the meaning of this, inshallah. Tarmihim, okay, is from the Sulasi Mujarrad verb Rama Yarmi, which is a Naqis Ya'i verb, Ra Mim Ya, Bab Zaraba, to throw, to pelt, also means to accuse. Okay? We use this term when we are going for Hajj to do Rami, okay, which is to throw stones at those places which are symbolically basically hitting the shaitan. Tarmihim bihijaratim min sijil. They pelt them. Again, this them goes to ashab fil. Bihijaratin. Okay, hijaratin comes from hajara, yahjuru hajran, bab nasara. It means to prevent, to hinder, to withhold. Hijaratun itself, the noun with the singular of hajarun, means stones or rocks. Okay. And another word which is used in the Quran, hujuratun, with the singular of hujratun, means rooms or private quarters or enclosures of some type. Okay. We know there's a surah called Surah Hujurat as well. It comes from the same root. So hijaratin is what we are dealing with here, which means stones or rocks. Okay. So with stones min sijil, of sijil, okay, min sijil. Sijil comes from sajala, yasjulu sajlan. Again, that's not a common word that we see. Actually, I don't believe it's used in the Quran. To pour out water continuously. We did see the form 2 of it used in Medina book, sajjala yusajjilu tasjilan, which is to register, to make an entry, also to record. Okay. Sijil noun itself means baked clay or a hard clay. Baked clay or hard clay. So bihijaratin bin sijil, with stones of baked clay. Okay. So those birds, we are being told that they pelt them with stones of baked clay. Baked clay. Okay. Okay, we'll move to the last ayah of this surah, inshallah. فَجَعَلَهُمْ كَعَصْفٍ مَأْكُولٍ. Okay. فَجَعَلَهُمْ, fa, ja'ala, and hum. 3 parts. Fa is harf atf. Ja'ala is fi'l madi, mabni ala fatha. Fa'il mustatir taqdiruhu huwa. This huwa goes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again. Hum is maf'ulun bihi, number 1. This is one of the usages of ja'ala for where it is a doubly transitive verb. Ka'asfin ma'kul, ka is one part and asf is another. Ka is harfu jar, asf is ism majroor. Okay. Together they are fi mahalli nasbin maf'ulun bihi thanin. Okay, for ja'ala. And then ma'kul is not li asf. Okay. Let's look at the meaning, inshallah. Ja'ala, we already know the meaning. We have seen it before. It means to create, to make, to put, to place, also to make something into something. Okay, that is the doubly transitive usage of this verb, and this is what we are seeing here: to make something into something. Okay. So in this case, and sorry, I needed to press here actually. Where did it go? Here. And he made them. Again, this home goes to Ashabul-Fiil. He made them. Ka'asfim ma'kul. Ka is, we know, is harfu jar with the meaning of like. Okay, like. Okay, and then asf. Asafa ya'sifu asfan or usufan. Bab zaraba, to storm, to rage, okay, to shake something thoroughly. And then the noun asf means dry leaves or straw. Dry leaves or straw. And that's essentially what the meaning here is. Like straw, okay, ma'kul, okay, on the wazn of maf'ul. This is, the verb is akala ya'kulu aklan, okay, bab nasara, to eat, to consume, to waste away. We know the ism fa'il in this case is akil, the one who eats or consumes, and ismul maf'ul is ma'kul, that which is eaten, that which is eaten. So in this case, the straw which is eaten up. Okay, so he made them like eaten straw. Okay, they're completely consumed. Okay, they're just basically, there's nothing left in them. That essentially was their state after they had been visited by those droves of birds which were throwing stones of baked clay on them. Okay. So alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil. Did you not see how your Lord dealt with the people of the elephant? Alam yaj'al kaydahum fi tadlil. Did he not make their plots go to a waste, turn their plots void? Wa arsala alayhim tayran ababil. And he sent upon them droves of birds, or birds in droves. Tarmihim bi hijaratim min sijil, pelting them with stones of hard or baked clay. فَجَعَلَهُمْ كَعَصْفٍ مَأْكُولٍ, and he made them like eaten straw. Okay.
Brother Zaid, taking you back to وَأَرْسَلَ عَلَيْهِمْ طَيْرًا أَبَابِيلَ. I find that construction a little unusual, because Tayran is one, singular. but the way we translate it is أرسل عليهم طيران أبابيل is droves of birds, right? The is that a normal, is that a usual, or is that something very rare to see this sort of construction?
Yeah. So Tayran is a generic noun. Is a generic noun. Can actually be translated both in singular and in plural. Okay.
Yep.
And that's why what I've captured, it can be bird or birds. Either of those two meanings are applicable for Tayr.
Okay.
So in this particular case, of course, it will be the plural meaning because they were coming in droves.
Yeah.
So from the look of it, the noun looks like it is singular, but actually it can also be translated as plural, and that's what the dictionaries say as well, that it has a meaning of singular bird as well as plural birds.
Ahsan, Jazakallah.
Well, Nisar, please go ahead.
I think that was similar my question, because on Tarmihim, you use the Damir Mustatir here.
Yeah.
Right? And it is implied to the, I thought it's because Jama'im Mumtaha, and that's why you use the singular there. As you translated, they pelted them.
Yeah. True, because see the rule is the kullu jama muannas.
Yes.
That Tayran is brought in as a plural, and we say that the plural or the irrational are treated like feminine singular.
Correct.
That's why the damir mustatir that we find here is actually here, but that here we will not translate this as she or it, but rather it will go to the noun that it is pointing to, which is plural. So we will say they pelt them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually the noun is a singular, but as you mentioned, can be used term, but ababil is a kullu mumtaha.
No, brother Nisar, let me clarify again. So Tayran is both singular and plural.
Okay.
Same noun can be used both for singular and plural. Okay. And in this particular case, we are translating this as plural. Now, because it is plural, because Tayran is plural, Ababil, which is its naat, will also be plural.
Correct.
And then its second naat, which is Tarmihim bi hijaratin min sijil, the pronoun in that sentence, which points back to Tayr, now can actually be will be a feminine singular because of the kullu jama muannas rule. But that kullu jama is the jama, which is the Tayran.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, that's exactly what I meant, but I was unable to express correctly.
Okay. Brother Kamal, please go ahead.
Brother, I was just wondering that all the ayat except 4 are effectively Madi, but ayat number 4 is Tarmim, is Mudari. Is there some sort of hal?
Well, no, so it is not hal, it is actually, like I said, Jumla Fi'liya, female nasbin naat li Tayr. So you have to understand it is Mudare for the time when that action was taking place. Okay, so it's almost like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken the attention of the reader back to the time when the armies were coming towards Makkah, and these droves of birds were coming, and they were pelting the stones. Like, see, even in English, when I'm describing it, I'm actually using the present continuous. Like they are throwing those stones. Okay, so fair mudare is with respect to that incident which is happening, which is being described. So the incident did happen in the past, but once you go into the past and start describing that incident, the qualifying sentence for the Tayr is that they are pelting them with the stones. That's my understanding of why it is Mudare. as opposed to madi.
This is sort of not sort of hal of the action being taken in the past.
I have not come across that hal analysis in any of the dictionaries that I have consulted. I think Nurul Yaqeen and Sulman Yaqut, both of them actually stated that this is actually a naat sanin for Tair.
Thank you.
Yeah. Again, goes back to the if you look at the Medina books, there are certain rules about the definite and indefiniteness of the Sahibul Hal. And again, I'll have to go back and look at them again to refresh my memory before I can explain. But I do have some clue that it is something to do with the definite and indefiniteness. If it is indefinite, then it is an at. If Tair was at-Tair, then it would have been hal. But that's just, I mean, I'm going by memory. Please don't quote me on that. But that, I think they went in the lesson on hal, it is described there.
You are correct, Brother Zahid. Alhamdulillah.